Hello. Thank you for tuning in once again for the episode 3 of the Asatruman Show. My name is Patrick. I will be your host and your guide through this today. First off, I do apologize for me not having my beard beads in. For those that do not know, I have been a cancer patient. I am doing much better, thankfully, and hoping to be in remission or cancer-free very, very soon. With us here, we will be continuing again with the reading of the Havamal. And with us here, giving my interpretations of the meaning on this here. If you do not feel the same as me with this, do not hesitate to reach out. If you wish to use the messenger here in YouTube, it's right down here. Be sure to drop me a message. If you prefer Twitter, use @Asatruman1. That should be right about in here. And if you prefer the old school email, use asatruman777@gmail.com. With this here, I am open and I am willing to discuss these things. With this, I may have a wrong interpretation. Let's look at this together. We may both have the wrong interpretation. Let's try and find out together. Now, I went through verse 9 last week. This week here, we will be starting at verse 10. With this here, if a person takes with him knowledge, he can take nothing better, for this is the greatest thing he can take with him. With this here, this pretty much seems common sense. With this, you take with you standard knowledge that preferably no one else around in the area has when you're traveling. And this will tend to be very, very valuable. People wish to learn from you. And with this, as it says, you can take nothing better. With this, it is more valuable than any sets of tools. Verse 11, if a person takes with him knowledge, he can take nothing better. For a drunken mind is the worst thing he can take with him. This being just the opposite. If you tend to be a drunkard, if you tend to party hardy every night and you get yourself, pardon my French, shit-faced, with this, people will look at you as that. And any knowledge you may have will be considered with that level of worth and be taken with a very huge pinch of salt. Moving on with verse 12 here. Alcohol is not as great a thing as it is supposed to be. The more you drink, the less you master yourself. This here I find actually quite true. The more you drink, the less in control of your faculties you are. With this, try and stay sober. That is what this is actually saying. If you tend to really drink and party hardy every night and just go crazy, expect people to treat you as such. Go into verse 13 here. The wit-stealing heron soars over gatherings, waiting to steal men's wits. Its feathers covered me while at Gunhol's court. Now, this is apparently where the writer is speaking anecdotally of where he was at a particular party and, got all kinds of, again, shit-faced. With us, in Scandinavian and old Germanic lore, the heron was believed to steal a man's wits and leave them, standing around dazed and essentially drunk. And what that is where what this person is actually saying happened to him. Verse 14, I was drunk beyond words at Faljar's banquet, and from the best party a man will soon will become himself soon enough. Yeah. With us here, he is flat out saying, yeah, he got drunk beyond any form of description while at this one guy's banquet or party. Yeah. And with us here, the more you drink, the more you're going to actually show your own true colors. And most of you already know different people are going to be different types of drunks. There is the good and kind drunks and happy drunks, where they just love everybody. They want to just hug everyone and be happy. On top of them, conversely to that, there is also the mean drunks. The ones that, well, as soon as they get a couple of shots in them, they're wanting to just lash out at everybody and everything. And with us here, no matter how much of a mask you try and hold on yourself, get a couple of drinks in you, and that mask is just going to fall away. Going to verse 15 here. A king's son should be bold and thoughtful in battle. Every man should be happy and content till the day he dies. Yeah, this is kind of shifting subjects here for it. It's saying that a leader or a king, son should be bold and thoughtful in battle. In other words, he should be a leader in and of himself, because as a leader's son, everyone is going to look to him for that same leadership. Sometimes, this is, a good thing. Sometimes not always so much. With this here, each person will show themselves to be a good leader or not in their own time. With it, until they actually show themselves, give them the benefit of the doubt. Every man should be happy and content till the day he dies. With this, it is true. You should be content with what you have and where you are in life. Now, this is not saying not to have ambition, not to want to actually strive and make more money, get a better house, everything of this nature. It is good to be ambitious, but also you can be ambitious and you can still be content and happy where you are. With that, going on to verse 16 now. The foolish person thinks he will live forever if he stays away from conflict, but old age will not spare him even if he stays away from battle. Again, shifting subject a little bit here. What this is saying here is, no one is going to be getting out of this alive. And anyone who thinks that by avoiding conflict, avoiding battle of any form, that they will be able to live forever and they will be able to maintain kind of a neutral stance, it is foolish. With this here, all you will be thought of is many times a coward, that you stand for nothing. And that's what this person is saying here. A foolish person thinks that they will live forever if he stays away from conflict. And again, none of us are getting out of this alive. There will be a actual entry later in the Havamal which states this, that I will die, you will die, the cattle will die. The one thing that will last forever is the people's memory and stories of how you handled yourself. Verse 17, a stupid person just sits and stares or talks under his breath. If he drinks, all his wits disappears. This is hopping back again over into verse 13 and 14. With this, a person that is not wise is not going to be asking pertinent questions, is not, is going to be muttering under his breath, going to be just trying to bad talk a situation rather than trying to improve it. And then get a few drinks into him, And he's just going to get louder, start asking questions that really no one should be asking, and just mayhem, making an all-out fool of himself. Verse 18. A person must travel the world many times before he is wise enough to see the workings of others. I myself personally find this very, very true. Excuse me. You need to travel. You need to meet other cultures. You need to meet other people to actually see how the world works. If you stay in your own little insular bubble, you learn how that works, but you never actually grok what is going on over in the next valley, over in the next state, over in the next country. And I thankfully was able to grow up what I refer to as a Navy brat. My father was Navy. I got to move around all other places: Guam, France, Okinawa, China, Japan. And I got to see so many of these cultures and experience them firsthand. And I count myself so blessed to have been able to actually learn that. And I actually see myself being able to understand and see things from so many different other viewpoints other than my own. And if you travel and learn with this, you'll do likewise. Okay, getting into verse 19. Only drink your share and speak useful words, or do not speak at all. No one can blame you for bad manners if you retire to bed early. Again, I find this to be actually quite true. Only drink your share. Okay? In other words, don't get greedy. Okay? Drink your portion. If you are having portions at a party of even food, take your portion and savor it, enjoy it. But don't go hog wild. Don't just gorge yourself on more than would be considered your portion. Okay? And speak useful words, or do not speak at all. This here, again, is going back with the others there. Ask useful questions. Talk and bring up subjects that matter. Bring up ones that are actually forward the conversation that is going on in the area there. And if the conversation is going into areas there it shouldn't, try and start a different conversation. Try to keep things going in a positive and good way. Don't try to, go all negative on people. That's the worst way to really ingratiate yourself especially even with new people. You don't go in and just start bad talking. That's going to just ruin everybody's time. And then for the last part, no one can blame you of bad manners if you retire early. And this is actually knowing your own limitations. Saying, hey, I'm tired, I've got work in the morning, I'm going to head on for bed. Most everyone that's worth their salt is going to be, hey, okay, sleep well, great, see you later. Okay? If anyone tries to give you guff over it, anyone else is going to be thinking them, either just foolish or just, not worth their salt. And with this here, that ends the 9 verses for this week. If you've agreed with me on these subjects here, please let me know. If not, again, please let me know. Without all of you out there, I'm just talking into a void and I'm in an echo chamber. Well, let me know what you're feeling, how you're enjoying it. If you would like to see something on the show or want something mentioned, tell me. with this, we can arrange this and work it out. Okay? With, again, either message me down here on the YouTube Messenger or at Asatruman1 for Twitter. If you want to go old school and email, Asatruman777 at gmail.com. With this here, again, I hope everyone here has had a good week with this, and I hope you have a good week to come. May the gods and the holy powers bless you. May the ancestors bring you knowledge, wisdom, and peace. Have a good one.